How to get approved for student loan forgiveness. Despite a 98% rejection rate, here's how to get approved for student loan forgiveness. Here's what you need to know. Student loans. Another 4,500 educators were turned down for student loan forgiveness, despite believing they met all of the requirements. More than 4,500 educators were rejected from the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. This occurred at 2,700 schools, and this occurred in all 50 states, plus Washington, D.C. This widespread rejection begs the question, should teachers who teach for 10 years get automatic student loan forgiveness? According to these statistics, the denial of student loan forgiveness was not a local issue in a single school district, but a national issue. According to the most recent student loan debt statistics, the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program is rejected 98% of the time. According to the Student Borrower Protection Center, a leading nonprofit advocacy group, 80% of student loan borrowers will be denied student loan forgiveness through 2026. Even though there has been no widespread student loan forgiveness, student loan cancellation has become a hot topic. President Joe Biden is working to improve student loan forgiveness and repayment so that more student loan borrowers can receive financial assistance. What happened with student loans? Rejections were based on a variety of factors, including incomplete or incorrect paperwork and the use of the incorrect type of student loan. This is despite having worked as a teacher for at least 10 years, which some believe should be enough to qualify for full student loan forgiveness. The high rejection rate, particularly among public servants such as teachers, has raised questions about whether the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program can be saved. In 2007, Congress passed the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Act, which President George W. Bush signed into law. Students who work full-time, at least 30 hours per week for a qualified public service or nonprofit employer and meet other requirements are eligible for total federal student loan cancellation. This includes teachers, police officers, firefighters, first responders, nurses, doctors, military personnel, attorneys, and a variety of other public servants who serve the public interest. The U.S. Department of Education, led by Secretary Miguel Cardona, says it is committed to improving student loan forgiveness. Over a 5-year period, Biden campaigned on reforming student loan forgiveness to make it less bureaucratic, more widely available, and easier to obtain, rather than the current 10-year time frame or 120 monthly student loan payments. The Education Department has held public hearings and requested public feedback on how to improve student loan forgiveness. Here are 17 ways Biden could improve student loan forgiveness. Any potential changes will take time to implement, but the Biden administration's goal is to align the intentions of public service loan forgiveness with the outcomes. This includes canceling student loans for borrowers who meet the requirements for loan forgiveness. Here's how Democrats feel about student loan forgiveness. How to apply for student loan forgiveness. Despite the high rate of denial for student loan forgiveness, there are several common mistakes that student loan borrowers make when applying for public service loan forgiveness. Here are a few common mistakes to avoid. 1. Inadequate paperwork. This is painfully obvious, but incomplete or incorrect paperwork is enough to disqualify you from receiving student loan forgiveness. Submitting incomplete paperwork, material typos, missing paperwork, and so on are examples. How to get approved. Your employer must sign your employment certification form, so make certain that whoever signs it is an authorized signatory, not simply your co-worker. 2. Incorrect student loan. There are numerous stories of student loan borrowers who believe they meet all of the requirements and work diligently for a public service employer only to discover that their student loan does not qualify. This could be because they were unaware of the accrual requirements or received incorrect information from their student loan servicer. Only direct loans, for example, are eligible for student loan forgiveness. Private loans, Perkins loans, and FFELP loans are not eligible for student loan forgiveness. How to get approved. For example, if you have FFELP loans, consolidate them into a direct consolidation loan. This process will make your student loans eligible for forgiveness, and it can be completed through the United States Department of Education. 3. Incorrect student loan repayment. You must be enrolled in an income-driven repayment plan to be eligible for student loan forgiveness. Many student loan borrowers overlook this critical requirement and instead select any student loan repayment plan. Income-driven repayment plans include, for example, income-based repayment, IBR, or revised pay-as-you-earn, repay. Before pursuing public service loan forgiveness, check with your student loan servicer to ensure that you are enrolled. How to get approved. Being enrolled in an income-driven repayment plan isn't enough. While enrolled in an income-driven repayment plan, you must make at least the majority of your federal student loan payments. Make certain that you fulfill this requirement and plan accordingly. 4. Incorrect employer. Never forget the golden rule of public service loan forgiveness. It is your employer, not your role, who qualifies you. There's a distinction. You would qualify if you work full-time as a teacher in a public school for a qualified public service employer. However, if you work for a private company with a state government as a client, it is unlikely to count. How to get approved. Before you begin your journey towards student loan forgiveness, make sure you are employed by a qualified public service or nonprofit organization. Don't assume that your employer is eligible. To see if your employer is eligible, use the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Help tool. If you're unsure whether you'll qualify for student loan forgiveness or simply don't expect your student loans to be canceled, you're not alone. That is why it is critical to understand all of your student loan repayment options. Here are some popular methods for saving money on student loans. Refinancing student loans: lower interest rate plus lower monthly payment. Income-based repayment schemes: get a lower monthly payment. Loan forgiveness for government employees: get student loan forgiveness.